Hi everyone, for today's video I decided to do a purple sponge gradient. So I'm starting off with a ridge filling base coat from Revitanail. I've been reading a few articles recently and I've decided to stop using a nail hardener as a base coat and just start using a ridge filler base coat instead, because it's meant to stop your nails from breaking as often. Now I'm going in with a white base colour. This is going to help the gradient to stand out a lot stronger. And the colour I've used is a Sally Hansen colour called White On. And now I'm sealing that in with the top coat before I start the sponging, because your base colour needs to be completely dry for the gradient to not lift up the nail polish. And now I'm cleaning up all around the edges, because I watched a few videos this morning and it seems as though if you have a really clean line around the edges, the gradient will look a lot better, and it's harder to clean up at the end because it will have already dried completely. Now I'm using my homemade cleanup solution made out of peel off face mask and glitter. I'll leave a link in the description box if you'd like to see how I made this product. I've used this for stamping but never for a sponge gradient, so let's see how the cleanup goes in the end. And now I have it all over both hands. So I decided before I started sponging, I had 3 sponges in the cupboard and I thought I would trial out each of them on a little rock and see which colour blended the best, because I haven't had much success with sponge gradients in the past, so I thought by practicing on the rock I'd get the right finish and then do it on my nails rather than sort of stuffing up my nails. So this sponge sort of stamper is from the Born Pretty store. And first off, I've noticed the holes are quite big in the sponge, so it's really taking up a lot of the nail polish when I'm brushing it on. So I thought in order to compare properly, I'm doing 2 layers of each colour and then I'm sponging it onto the rock to see how it comes out. In some of my previous videos, I've also practiced stamping on the rocks, just to sort of, you can get the desired look without ruining, you know, the base colour you've just put on. So now we'll sponge that on. So it's turned out okay, not fantastic, because I think that the sort of gradient is a little bit non-fine, it's a little bit rough for my liking. So now this is a latex makeup sponge I bought from Priceline. I went down the road today and I couldn't find any non-latex sponges, so that's why I thought I would dig around and see what is in the cupboard, use what I already have, which is always good. And I decided on the colour purple for 2 reasons. One, because I saw a photo this morning on Pinterest that looked really beautiful with purple gradient. I thought I'd try to recreate it. I'll leave a link in the description box to that image. And second reason is because purple's my favourite colour. So this has turned out really, really nicely. I quite like the way that the gradients come through. So I think this will be the clear winner, but I'll try a third one first just to make sure. So this is from Sports Girl. If you're from Australia, Sports Girl stores are everywhere and they sell a nail kit called I Love Nail Art or something along those lines. This was given to me as a gift from someone at work where I used to work, and I thought I'd give it a go because it was just hanging around in the cupboard. So the first thing I noticed is the nail polish isn't really sinking into the sponge at all. It's just sitting on the top, which I thought could be a good or a bad thing. And now when I sponge that on, it just sort of smudges everywhere. So I thought this was a bit of a fail This would be good for a watercolor look, but not for what I'm going for, which is that really strong gradient. So now I'm ready to get started on my nails. They're fully dried and the peel off face mask is fully dried. So one thing I had in mind when I was doing this is to really take my time and go slow. Because in the past when I've tried to do sponge gradients, I've tried to load up the sponge with heaps of nail polish and sponge it on really fast and sponge on the same area too many times and it's stuffed up really bad. So this time I thought, just go slow, do one color at a time, do one layer at a time, do one nail at a time, and then hopefully it'll turn out better. And I'm pleased to say it did. I'm really happy with the end result, as you'll see when we get toward the end of the video. And I decided I wanted the dark purple at the tip of the nail, like the photo I saw on Pinterest. So now I'm just really gently sponging that on, and I'm trying to not go over the same area too many times, because that lifts up the white nail polish underneath, which is what I don't want. So just really gently. And then for each other nail, I sponged, put fresh nail polish, and then did the same thing, just sponged it on really, really gently. And I thought I'd give another demo of me doing my pinky. So that's what one coat looks like. Now I've got a fresh piece of sponge to do the second coat because it was starting to get a little bit dry, a bit sticky. And the cool thing about using a sponge is once you've used up a piece, you can just cut it off. So they're not reusable. Once you've dirtied up the sponge with nail polish, it's ready for the bin. But I've got some really sharp scissors nearby and I just cut off the piece I'd used for the bin. So it looks like I'll be able to get quite a few goes out of this sponge before it's completely used up. And then same as last time, 2 layers. So darkest color, medium color, and then lightest color. And once again, I'm going really slow. This whole manicure took me almost 2 hours, which sounds like a long time, but I keep my nail polish on for a whole week. So I sort of think it's worth it. It's how I relax on a Sunday. And it takes a little bit longer because I'm recording, of course. So that's 2 layers. I think it looks fantastic. I'm really happy with the way that it's blending, and I'm sort of zigzagging the sponge up and down just to get it to sort of blend in really nicely. So that's 2 coats, and now I'm peeling off my peel off face mask to see if it did a good job stopping the nail polish from getting onto my skin. And it did pretty well. There's not much cleanup at all. I'm pretty happy with the way that worked. I mean, you know, I made it myself, as you would have seen in my other video, and yeah, it's really prevented a lot of nail polish from getting onto my skin. So really happy with that product and happy with the way that the gradient's looking. So now I got into the cleanup. I started off with a cotton tip dipped in acetone. These come from Priceline and they're special pointy ones that are for cleaning up nail polish. And now it's time for my fast drying top coat. So I waited for all the nail polish to dry fully before I did this, and I also gave my hands a little bit of a rinse because I just wanted to make sure all the nail polish was off my skin. I really hope you enjoyed watching my video. Please thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye.